Good morning and welcome to today's session of Imagine America Radio, our continuing Career College Exposition webinar series. My name is Bob Martin. I'm the President and CEO of the Imagine America Foundation. I want to welcome all of our visitors to the fourth season of the IAF Career College Exposition webinar programs, where we now have produced and distributed more than 160 webinars, with our total viewers and listeners now surpassing 6,000 local educators and counselors. To our continuing listeners, thank you for your continued support. To the new listeners, welcome. We hope that you're going to enjoy today's program. We're very excited about today's topic, exploring career-based education and careers, sponsored by Tulsa Welding School, also known as TWS. Tulsa Welding School has 4 locations, one in Jacksonville, Florida, another one in Tulsa, Oklahoma, a third one in Houston, Texas, and a brand new campus in Dallas, Texas. Tulsa Welding School is also a 24-year partner of the Imagine America Scholarship and Award programs, having now provided admissions-based financial aid to more than 1,600 enrolling Imagine America students. If you'd like more information on our scholarship program and how to help your students apply for our scholarship to attend this particular school, please visit our website at www.imagine-america.org, or you can simply call or email either Lauren Cunningham or myself at the Imagine America Foundation. Since our beginning in 1999, Imagine America remains the leading sponsor of scholarship aid for enrolling high school students. However, our country continues to face serious shortages in certified technicians. We hear from employers in virtually all sectors of the country desperately looking for qualified employees, and we simply need to continue doing more. Our partner in today's presentation is Tulsa Welding School, or TWS. Our guest will be discussing our country's never-ending need for skilled, job-ready, and certified welders, HVAC, air conditioning and refrigeration mechanics, and mechanical and electrical engineers. Joining us today to discuss in detail the looming technician shortage and how Tulsa Welding is helping meet this need is Elsie Reyes. Elsie is the Director of High School Admissions at Tulsa Welding School, or TWS, and has been working with high schools for many years now. You are in very, very good hands. Before turning the program over to Elsie, let me outline today's agenda. Today's session of Imagine America Radio will be 30 minutes maximum, including questions and answers. Once we finish these remarks, we're going to move directly into today's presentation. All participants can submit questions while the presentation is in session via the Q&A feature in this Zoom meeting. At the end of the presentation, or approximately 10:25, we will present any and all questions offered by the participants. We'll address as many questions as possible and provide written responses in follow-up emails. We'll have a hard close at 10:30 a.m. So without taking any more time out of today's presentation, let me turn today's session over to Elsie. Elsie, the floor is yours.
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much, Bob, for that introduction. Good morning, counselors. Thank you for taking the time to be with us this morning. Like Bob mentioned, I am the director for the high school department here at Tulsa Welding School. So let's get started with the presentation, go from there. So like Bob mentioned, the employment landscape has definitely shifted. There's a high demand for skilled trades professionals. Workers are looking for a career-based education. There are more training options other than a 4-year degree into a rewarding career. So you can see a lot of shortage of different employments are being, it's happening right now in our country, central work. So definitely a good skill trade to get into. So welders, HVAC, electrical technicians, they're essential, they are in demand, and they keep the world moving. Our schools are built on these principles. We believe education changes lives. We embody diversity, equity, and inclusion. We empower you to make a difference in your life and community. We offer a technology innovation focus. Here's a little bit about our licensing and accreditation. So we are accredited by the Accrediting Commission of Career Schools and Colleges, also known as ACCSC, licensed by the Texas Workforce Commission. We are licensed in Arizona, Florida, Oklahoma, Texas, member of the American Welding Society, the Better Business Bureau. Tools for you. So how can we partner with you, counselors? How can we help students? So we do interactive senior presentations. We like to focus in senior-based classes, if that's a government econ class. During our presentation, we talk about life after high school. We go into detail about budgeting, how expensive life is, the importance of getting yourself into a career, if that is a 4-year, if that is a short program, career-focused program, if that's going to the military, but the importance of why education is so important. We also do campus field trips where we can bring a busload of students to come tour the school. They get to see the school, they get to weld, they get to spend some time with the instructors, get to know what our programs are about. We also have lunch and learn staff events. So counselors typically have a weekly meeting. During that time, we ask for about 5 to 10 minutes. We provide lunch or breakfast, depending upon the time they all get together. And we go into detail of how we can help STEM education and partner with these students that are not in the pathway of going to college, but looking into a skilled trade, how we can make sure they're also furthering their education. We also have remote demonstrations where we're able to come out and show different types of welds and process of what we teach at our school. Now, our locations and where we're located, our original location, Tulsa, Oklahoma, which we are celebrating 75 years this year. Then we have our Jacksonville, Florida campus, Houston campus, Dallas, which we recently opened, and our sister school, RSI, out in Phoenix, Arizona. Like I mentioned, our history started off in 1949 in Oklahoma. From there, 1965 in RSI, 2001 in Jacksonville, Florida, 2014 in Houston, Texas, and then recently this past year in Dallas, Irving, Texas. So Tulsa Welding School has over 35,000 graduates since 1949. RSI has over 10,000 graduates since 1965. Then, of course, it is March, where we are celebrating National Women's Month. In 1987, Congress declared March as the National Women's History Month, and March is a time to champion the power of women's voices and drive positive change. So I'm going to play this video of our female graduates.
I was just working like a dead-end job, really.
Finally, I was like, I can't do it anymore.
And that's when I was like, you know what? I'm going to go be a welder.
I've never felt independence like this before.
That first paycheck was like, whew, what do I do with all this?
It's been such a blessing in my life.
I'm very competitive. I want to beat the boys. I can assure you, you can do it.
If I can do it, you can do it too.
I'm a single mother, and I can do it. I know they can do it because women before me have done it.
So let's explore the 3 program paths that we have. We have our welding program, which is the professional welding. We have the HVAC refrigeration, electrical mechanical refrigeration technology. And then with the electrical, we have 3 different paths. That can be electrical applications, electrical technologies, or the electrical line worker. So as far as the Oculus, this is something that several years ago, we started off with the OcuWeld at Tulsa Welding School. We definitely want to be the leader of integrating technology and skilled trades education. One of the reasons why we incorporated this is for the practice, the repetition for the student. There's different types of process in welding. There's different types of process in electrical and HVAC. So this is more of the repetition for the student. This is the class day that they're able to spend some time learning fundamentals in the classroom. As you can see, we have 19 different modules. No Wi-Fi is needed. With the interplay learning, this is where they're able to do the HVAC troubleshooting, go in, mess around with the electrical wires. Now let's start off in the welding program and what the student's going to learn. So this is a 7-month program. They go into introduction to welding, shielded metal arc welding, metal insert gas, tungsten gas, basic pipe welding. Many career opportunities included pipe welding, pipeline welding, structural welding, thin alloy welding. So for 5 hours a day, 4 days in the shop, 1 day of online class, the student's able to get 20 hours on a weekly basis of welding. There is different types of schedules depending upon the student if they're going to work while they go to school. We have morning, afternoon, and nights, as well as weekends. Then we have the HVAC and refrigeration program. This is also a 7 to 10 month, 6 to 10 month program. This is where the student goes into HVAC training. They'll do the heating and ventilation, air conditioning, climate control. They will learn this in residential and commercial. Career opportunities, HVAC service technician, refrigeration service technician. There are different options as far as classes as well. With the electrical and mechanical technologies, the difference between this and the refrigeration technology program is they will add an additional 8 weeks where it will go into a little bit more of electrical. So they're learning solar technology, residential, commercial air conditioning, heating, and refrigeration technology. It just gives them more time on the electrical as well as the HVAC side. Now, on the electrical program, this will be a little bit different than what we're talking as far as refrigeration technology, because now they're going into AC, DC motors. They're doing electrical wiring. They're also learning fundamentals of solar, motor and lighting practices. This is a 7-month program. Many career opportunities within this. They can go into maintenance electrician, new construction electrician, power plant build technician. Now with the electrical technology, this is only offered at our Dallas Metro campus. As you can see the difference between this program and the one previously, they're now going into the emerging electrical applications, the PLNC practices. So this goes more into the security systems, a little bit different than the electrical applications, more on the technology side. Then we have our electrical line worker program. This is a 15-week program. This is also only offered at our Dallas Metro campus at the moment. This is where a student gets OSHA and compliance training, job briefings and leadership training, the pole climbing all the way up to 60 feet, field equipment, tools and material, introduction to transformers and grounding. A really awesome program. They're done in 15 weeks. Also, we know with the power grid, something very much needed. So it's great to have this program. So why Tulsa Welding School? Our focus is on student support and success. Our career placement, you can visit that at tws.edu. 90% of our students after they've graduated our program go to work. Career focused education. Majority of our programs can be completed in as few as 7 months. There is career assistance during school and after graduation. We have close-knit campus community with the interest and support. We have the practical hands-on training and also enhanced with virtual reality. Upcoming events. So one big thing that we have coming up is April 3rd and 6th is our open houses. Wednesday, that April 3rd is from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Then we have April 6th from 9 in the morning to 1 p.m. Now, we recently were in Tulsa, Oklahoma for our welding competition, February 24th. It was a huge success. We had a total of 146 students participate in this event. Amazing event. We had people come in from all over New Mexico, Alabama, the surrounding areas in Oklahoma. A very exciting event. We have the one happening this Saturday in Jacksonville, Florida. We have about 250 students already registered for this competition. And then we have the one in Houston, March 23rd, where we have over 200 students registered and more to come for that competition. So it's been very exciting to see these students come out and compete in our welding competition. Number one gets 100% tuition paid for. Number two, 50%. Number three, 25% of their tuition paid for. Top of that, any participating senior gets a $500 scholarship towards their education. So it is an amazing event to see families there, students go in and compete and win the scholarship to be able to attend the school. Important information. So our school code for TWS is 015733. That is for the FAFSA. Follow us, get to know us on social. We are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, you name it. Follow us, get to know what our students are doing, what we are doing to help our students out in the workforce. So most importantly, we care about our students and their success. That is one thing we pride on, and we follow our students every step of the way after graduation. Now, that is the end of my presentation. We now leave it open for Q&A.
Thanks, Elsie. Great job as usual. A real quick first question has to do with enrollment and entrance requirements. Does Tulsa Welding School have a GPA requirement for admissions to the school?
We do not have a GPA requirement, Bob. What we would do is they would go through an interview process with an admissions representative.
You know, the next question actually kind of, I think, spins off of that, your answer there. Can you talk a little bit about financial aid counseling available for enrolling students or potential students that's available through Tulsa Welding?
Most definitely. So after a student has met with an admissions representative, we have an amazing student finance department that could walk them through the process of filling out the FAFSA, filling out any scholarship opportunities, anything that could help benefit the student to start school and fund for their program.
You know, you mentioned, this is probably where the next question comes from. You mentioned that you had a very successful event, the welding competition. You had students from all over the region, and this has to do with housing. So you can tend to be a destination campus, which means people move to near your school, live there while they're going to school. Do you have housing assistance or housing programs for those particular types of student?
Most definitely, Bob. We have housing assistance with EDU Rent. You can go on their website and you can create an account. EduRent will work with the student as far as if they want housing, shared housing, if they want a direct lease, depending upon their situation. The EduRent will work with them to make sure that they are accommodated for their housing while attending school.
So would you mind just quickly restating the upcoming events that you've got, that you already had them on a previous slide, but I just want to give you a chance to restate them now before we move on.
Definitely. So our events that we have coming up this Saturday, we have our welding competition out in Jacksonville, Florida. After that, we will have our Houston welding competition, March 23rd. And in April, we will have our open house, our national open house. April 3rd is one that is on a Wednesday from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then April 6th from 9 in the morning to 1 p.m.
So if anybody that's listening from our audience and they want to talk to Tulsa Welding, is it best to talk to a local rep, go to the website, or contact you directly?
They can reach out to me directly and I can make sure to connect them with their representative in the area.
Well, this is very exciting. You know, I always get jacked up listening to and seeing the what you're doing for women in welding, women and welding careers, and also the AccuWeld. It's very, very, very excited. Let me very quickly, for our audience's sake, go through a couple of housekeeping items before we close. We have compiled, Manage America has compiled and will forward a set of the follow-up questions related to admissions, et cetera, to all the participants. We've recorded this session and we'll forward the recording to all registrants. It's also available on our website. You're going to receive, finally, you're going to receive an exit survey when you leave this meeting. We're going to ask you if you just take a few minutes and help us fill it out, give us some answers, tell us what you think of today's session, and some possible topics moving forward, and maybe locations. Before closing, I want to thank all the education participants for taking time out of their very busy schedules to join us today. Elsie, Lauren, and I know that you've got many different competing demands on your time, and we just really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to join us today and give this and listen to this presentation. I also like to finally thank Elsie for sharing today's presentation and encourage you to contact her directly on any questions you have related to Tulsa Welding School, admissions, financial aid, upcoming events. She's very helpful. On behalf of the Manage America Foundation, Elsie, Lauren Cunningham, and myself, thank you, and we hope you have a great day. Goodbye.